What's up, guys? It is the Happily Depressed podcast. We're back after another really long
Yeah.
hiatus here. We just needed to rest our creative minds a little bit and really refocus ourselves before giving you another episode. So sorry to keep you waiting. We're not going anywhere. We just needed to take a little break, figure out the direction of our podcast and what we wanted to do. And yeah, so here we are again, though. Patrick,
There were
anything you want to say to the viewers?
a few weeks I fully expected that our podcast was just dead. No,
Yeah,
it's good to be back though. It's good to be back recording.
yeah. There was definitely a time where I was thinking about saying maybe it's done, but then I thought, nah, it's fun, and I truly think there's a potential to get something done here. We just gotta figure it out.
Right.
With that, we kind of are switching things up a little bit. Our short episodes are going to be a little shorter,
Yeah.
and we are going to have a little bit more conspiracy based of a podcast. I think more so than at least a little more time spent on conspiracy. I think I was half-assing how we were doing conspiracies, so that's my fault.
Yeah, I would say it would probably be about most episodes would be approximately 50% conspiracy theory. It's probably
Yeah,
a good
yeah,
good idea to be thinking.
yep.
Some be a
So,
little more, some be a little less, but they'll
yep.
all be roughly in that.
Overall, if you enjoy conspiracy theories, get ready because it's going to be a little bit more deeper of dives into them, and we're going to focus a little bit more on the quality of them. So, with that, Patrick, you got some news for me?
Yeah, so I guess this kind of fits with the conspiracy because it's not been
Oh,
it's not
okay.
fully been confirmed. So I'm sure some of you saw Mitch McConnell giving his speech and then just
Turtle Boy.
then just reset button. He's just for minutes. So well, maybe not minutes, but it was an extended period of time, just mid speech to just blank stare right at the camera. His office said it was heat stroke, which is, hey, it may be possible. Who knows? Dude's about 862 years old, so who knows? My theory, and this is just my theory, I have no evidence to back this up, is that he shit his pants up at the podium and had to get because
Reevaluate his whole
yeah.
life.
So hey, I mean, if I shit my pants while talking to the public,
No,
I'd
and then
reevaluate my life too.
televised to millions and millions and millions of people.
Yeah. So they like escorted him off, and he had a really weird walk when he was leaving. Now, again, if he actually was having some sort of heat issue, he'd also have a weird walk like that. So,
Yeah, legs be a
but
little weak.
if he shit his pants, he would also be walking weird. You don't want to be squishing that all up in the cheeks there.
He was inside, right?
Yes,
He was
it
in
was.
an indoor setting while
Yes,
making this speech.
yes.
So
So
again, he
heat
can't.
stroke becomes less likely indoors,
Yeah,
but
of course he's old as shit. So any sort of health problem is not out of the question. But I think it's more likely than not that he did in fact poop himself. Again, conspiracy, but uh, I don't know. So it's hilarious. You mentioned it, and I wasn't gonna look anything up, but I saw a picture of him like right after we had the conversation and we're done gaming for the night or whatever. I saw the picture of him and I was like, that's the face of a man who just pooped himself.
yeah,
I was like, dude, I've had that face before. I've totally shit my pants before. And
yeah.
that was that face right there. He knew, and he just had no idea. He was so concerned as to what he was going to do about it.
Yeah, especially if you're in such a public setting. What do
Yeah.
you do at that point?
I don't know, man. That's like Paul Pierce in the NBA Finals when he shit
Getting
himself
carted
and
off for pooping his
carted off
pants.
on a wheelchair because he shit himself. Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
I gotta say, if he did poop his pants, I think he played it pretty perfectly.
he did all right. I mean, he was a little sus though with
That's
how
true.
long he stopped and
That's
just
true.
stared.
Hey, but if you're that old and poop your pants, do you just keep it going and play that medical
I don't know,
emergency
but
card?
also the thing is like he's almost at that age where wearing Depends is like a thing that he probably would do, the adult diapers.
Mm-hmm.
So, if he did do it and he's wearing a Depends, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like it's free game. That's what they're
Except it
for,
now
bud.
smells like shit everywhere he goes.
Sounds like a nursing home, but yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah, but I think you're on the right track here. I think it's I think the possibility of him having a heat stroke right then and there is much less than him just pooping his pants. So I really think that your conspiracy theory might actually be, you might be onto something with that.
And pooping his pants is a lot funnier than heat strokes. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like the Australian prime minister that pooped his pants in a McDonald's in the 90s. Yeah,
Well,
that's a topic for a different
yep,
day, but
don't even know about that. So whatever. Okay, so we got the pants pooping out of the way.
yep, always a good place to
Mitch
start.
McConnell shit himself is basically what we're getting at, and lied about it, which isn't the most shocking thing of Congress member lying. But
Yeah.
you got okay. We're switching some things up. So what is gonna happen next?
So next, rather than a draft, since we have done a lot of those
We
and
have drafted a lot of things.
it's getting really hard to come up with more drafts.
Yeah.
We are going to have a little inconsequential debate,
Okay.
just like 2 minutes each side and the quick rebuttal. So
Okay. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
but you're going to pick your favorite fast food French fry.
Okay.
I'm going to pick mine. And then we're going to have a little debate to which is better.
Okay. Okay. So who gets to pick first? Is it based on a coin toss again?
I say you go ahead and pick first. I'll defer
Okay.
to you. I'm pretty
That's
sure
going to
you're
be a
taking
problem because I
Wendy's.
think
So,
I am taking Wendy's. I am taking Wendy's French fries. They're my favorite fast food French fries.
well, then I'm going to pull out a heavy hitter here.
McDonald's, huh?
No, Chick-fil-A.
Ah, yeah, that's a good one.
So, for the
Yeah.
sake of the argument, we are assuming both French fries are as fresh as you can possibly
Yeah.
get, the
Yep.
perfect
The
amount of
best ones
salt.
from that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Top of the line from that provider of French fries.
Yeah.
Okay. So am I going first
Yep.
on as to why
Oh
Wendy's
yeah.
French fries are clearly the better option here?
Something like that. Sure.
Okay. So first we got the sea salt that they put on there. Sea salt is far superior to just table salt. Kosher salt, pretty good. I don't know who uses that, and I don't know if that's a French fry salt or not. But then on top of that, Wendy's fries are really crispy, but still have that fluff in the middle. We're talking about the perfect version of Wendy's fries, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously, everybody gets some shit fries. And then the ones that have the little bit of potato skin on the backside, where like they left it on there because it was cut, that really does something for me. Wendy's ketchup is really good too. So you add that with that fry, solid. Um, I think that Wendy's fries, and I think a lot of people would truly agree with me. They went through that weird phase where they
Were garbage for a while.
it went
Then
real
they
garbage.
came back.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, here's a new version. Try this one, and it's got like big flaky sea salt. It's got really crispy with the skin still on it and stuff, and it just changed everything. Like I truly believe that Wendy's French fries, if we're gonna go Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Arby's curly fries,
Oh
yeah, but that's
but
we
that's
didn't
not
pick
what
that.
we're talking
Yep,
about here. So
didn't pick that. But Wendy's French fries probably have the best features in terms of having that crisp, having the soft, fluffy potato on the inside, having the skin still on it, and the choice of salt. And I don't know what oil they fry it in, but it's really good. I don't know if it's just vegetable oil or peanut oil, whatever they use, but delicious. So that's my argument for Wendy's.
hey, I can't really disagree with any of the points that you made. But here's what I will say. All of the pros that you listed for Wendy's fries, other than the sea salt,
Yeah.
apply to Chick-fil-A and they do it better. You want the extra skin on the side? They got those edge of the potato waffle fries. It's just basically all skin. Personally, I'm not a fan of those, but
Ah, okay.
if you're looking for skin, there you go. You're yeah, that was a weird
Yeah, I don't
sentence,
know,
but
man. Yeah, but anyway,
they've got
talking about French
even
fries here.
it's also got that nice crispy but pillowy inside as well. And you put just one in your mouth and just covers your whole tongue. You get the perfect taste all over. And let's talk about those sauces. I wasn't going to bring him up, but you mentioned ketchup, so
I don't know if that's fair though.
okay, I'll stick
The
just to
amount,
the I'll stick just to the ketchup then.
yeah.
We look at Chick-fil-A's ketchup. What is more convenient than that badass container that they've got where you pull the side and now
Yeah.
you've got a dipping container
Yeah. They did it
for
right.
yeah, they did. That
A lot of other restaurants are doing that now too, or like
they're
fast
slowly
foods
starting
are
to.
doing those Heinz. Um, yeah. Yeah. You can't bring up all of the Chick-fil-A sauces because then it starts to become quite unfair because, Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A shit. Yeah.
And hey,
I think, and
that's really all I got to say is what I
I'm going
feel
to
like I
agree
said
with
what I
you
need.
that you are correct, other than the salt choice. And then also, I think you guys, they use a different oil, which makes it even better.
It's
And
peanut oil that
yeah,
Chick-fil-A
and it's
uses. Yeah.
delicious. Personally, though, I think I get more consistency with Wendy's fries. And I know we're not going consistent, we're going top of the line from each.
Mhm.
But these are two heavy hitters. I mean, this is two amazing choices that I'd
The
be more
reality
than
is you
happy to
can't
eat
yeah, you
either
can't go
of
wrong with
them.
either of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone sets down a fresh bag of a year of those fries, it's a good day.
Yeah, yeah, I'm fine with either one. I'm not going to bitch about either of them being there. Um, I would say almost 1A, 1B in terms of, and
Yeah,
then Arby's is probably right
Arby's good
behind
too.
them though. Those curly fries.
The one thing I will say that, in my opinion, kind of takes away from Chick-fil-A a little bit. It's worth it for me, but there's two. They're more expensive than Wendy's.
Not if you're in uniform. They love
Okay,
us.
bitch. And they never fill the fry thing all the way to the
That's
top.
true. They be skimping on the
They
fries.
skimp on the
I
fries.
just had
That's
it this week and
You're
I
getting
poured them
three
out.
quarters of the container. That's
Yeah.
it.
I poured them out and there was like 5 big waffle fries and that was it. And I was like, damn, man, like
Yeah,
that's
that's
not that
really my
many when you
only
think about.
that's
They
really
take up
my
more
only thing I
space.
can't say.
Yeah, you're right.
I can't give to Went or our holy words. I
Chick-fil-A.
can't give to Chick-fil-A
I
for
would I
that
would
one.
agree with you that and that the they really do skimp. And I think it's because they take up so much surface area in the thing. So
Probably.
so
They
they
don't
fill it up
fall in
quicker.
as
And it's
easily.
probably part of their plan. I'm sure it's to have less fries to the consumer, which means saving more money or selling more for whatever.
Oh
And it's
yeah,
a
I
fine business plan because everyone still loves Chick-fil-A. They love Jesus chicken. So, but
at,
yeah,
at most restaurants, if I'm getting fries, I usually get a medium. Medium's about perfect for me. At Chick-fil-A though, I gotta get the large because there's just so much less fries in there.
yeah. And even the large, you get like 3 more waffle fries because they
Yeah,
take up so much space. So,
yeah.
I mean, like, I can't really even like come back with a solid rebuttal to why Chick-fil-A isn't as good as Wendy's fries because they're probably the two best.
Yeah.
And I love them both very much. They're both amazing fries. So I wish you would have like picked McDonald's or something because
Well,
everyone loves McDonald's fries, but
they're
all
fine.
the only reason they even remotely are okay is because they oversalt the shit out of them to make up for the blandness of
That's
their
fair.
actual fry. If you get a really hot, crispy McDonald's fry and they throw salt right on a boiling hot, it definitely helps. But they're not on the same level as Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, or Arby's curly fries.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, there we go. We got a debate. I'm sure there'll be more serious ones at some point,
Yeah,
more
probably.
than American French fries.
Yeah.
But, French fries are a really big deal here,
Yeah.
especially in America. So, we like our potatoes. We like
Let
our
us know in the
corn. Yeah.
comments
Yep.
who
Who has
who had a better argument, and did the person with the better argument do it for the better fries?
I think we both had shit arguments because we both knew in the back of our heads, fuck, I like those fries
Yeah,
just as
that's
much.
true.
Yeah, that's the problem. Who has the best fries though? And don't fucking comment Burger King because those are cardboard. Or they taste like absolute cardboard. Like an Amazon package cardboard, you ripped it up and started eating it. That's how fucking shit they are. So anyone but Burger King, you can make an argument for. All right, down to some more back to some conspiracy. We're going to try and do a little bit deeper of a dive and provide more information to the conspiracy to the viewer. We're going to assume that you guys as a viewer haven't heard this conspiracy. So today is going to be something I'm very hyped up about, and it would be the events going on today that directly correlate with Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, you've sent me about 800
TikToks, yeah.
TikToks about it. Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you the background of it and what this guy who kind of provided this idea was all about. And some of these things definitely do not apply to what's going on today, or they're not relevant yet. They certainly could come to fruition, but right now, not quite it. But there's a lot of things here that make really will get you thinking that, oh, wow, we're living in this time of this Project Bluebeam. So this guy named Sergey Monast, he was a project designer in NASA, and he believed that the United Nations, the UN, the Blue Helmets, would basically make a fake alien invasion by ways of introducing the public slowly but surely to the idea and realization that there are UFOs and aliens out there, which, side note, today and in this past couple weeks has really become a thing. Yep. World governments have admitted that there are UFOs, that there are aliens, and nobody's really cared about it that much. It's kind of weird to think about, honestly. And it might just be that, oh shit, we already knew this. You just finally told us the truth. Or we're just so desensitized to any sort of new news now that we just don't give a fuck as a human race.
I mean, also basically the whole world is in a recession right now. So
yeah,
now's not the time that people give a fuck about aliens.
True. We give a fuck about, providing for our families and not,
making sure we can put food on the table and pay our mortgages, our rents, our car bills, all that stuff.
Yeah. So Sergey, his thought process here was that the UN was attempting to fake an alien invasion or something along those lines, doomsday with aliens, in an attempt for the UN to gain power and a new world order of all of the world. Basically saying, hey, look at these guys. They're invading. They're tearing up your world. They're going to kill us all. We have to band together as a world to fight back. Which, if you know anything about conspiracies, a new world government and a one world government and things like that are all something that very much are real things that the UN and governments have wanted. They have absolutely wanted that before. That is not something that is just a conspiracy theory. There have been multiple talks within the UN that they would love to have a currency that is valid for the whole world or members of the UN, as well as one military to protect all of the members countries of the UN or NATO, whatever. So that part isn't too wild to think about. But he also started saying that they would manufacture fake alien invasions that would be actually projected into the sky and things by means of AI or basically just crazy projectors from satellite imagery and satellites that would project things into the sky. And then they would also add military, people would actually be dying in this scenario. This isn't just like a fake, you're watching it and everybody's okay. You're just watching this crazy shit.
Think Spider-Man Far From Home, like those projections sort of thing.
Yeah.
And how Mysterio was actually killing people in that.
Yep. Exactly. He was utilizing drones to actually kill people and also project these things. So again, amazing point. Very good point is that's not out of the realm of possibility. But what their plan is to project aliens attacking us via, missiles, lasers, things like that. But in turn, that actually being military weapons to do that, to basically prove their point that we are under attack by aliens. Let us protect you. Another big thing that he talked about is that they would project religious imagery on certain parts of the earth, with their major religion being Christianity or Buddhism, things like that. They would project them in the sky in a sense of that they're coming, that they're here. So people would believe that we are in the end times or a rapture situation, things like that. Um, so there would be a lot of that. He also goes in to talk about there would be some sort of telephonic communication devices where um, put in people's minds. Sure, yeah, it could end up being something more along the lines of that. But
Smart watches.
how he explains it is there would be things put in where you would think your God is speaking to you, and in terms you would be being deceived. And he said that some of the reasons for this would be one world government, one world religion, things like that. But also, if you are a Christian, you believe that there's an Antichrist, and the Antichrist is going to come and trying to deceive the world, things like that. And they want another part of his theory is that they would utilize the Antichrist in this situation. The Antichrist, whether you believe it or not, is a real person, and they would help deceive the world with this technology in order to form a one world religion that in turn is a one world religion worshiping Satan. Whether they believed they were or not, whether your mind was, I'm worshiping Jesus, you would be deceived, which is the whole point of Satan in general, is he's the greatest deceiver. But long story short, it's basically just about faking an alien invasion to gain control over normal everyday people around the whole world. So a lot of people have found similarities in what's going on today with his theories, and there's plenty who are like, that's wild to even think about. Our government wouldn't do that, things like that. And that's fine if you trust the government that much. It's also another way for them to introduce a one world currency, which if you know anything, one world currency, one world religion, and a one world basically military or government is something that has truly been discussed and wanted for a long period of time. It's nothing new. But yeah, so with that, Patrick, anything to add? Questions, concerns?
Yeah. So my really main question is when was this Sergey guy working for NASA, or when did this all start? Is this like
1994?
So this is fairly recent that he
94.
was saying
Yep.
all this. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I think there's definitely, as far as some of the conspiracy theories we've
I'm
talked
sorry, he
about,
didn't work for NASA. He was a journalist and investigative writer who
was
worked
investigating
closely with
NASA.
NASA and investigated NASA. Yes.
Okay.
So apologies on that, guys.
I mean, this certainly has more credence than some of the other conspiracies we've talked about before. I mean, some would say we're still in it. I'd say those people are idiots, but we just got done with a global pandemic of a lab created virus that
Yeah.
shut the whole world down for 2.5 years. So and you can look at every world government from that and see just how they treated their citizens. So I don't think a false flag operation to get everyone back on your side is really that far fetched.
Yeah.
Especially if you look at where all of the alien sightings have been. We've talked about it on a previous episode, but it's basically NATO.
The US and NATO. Yeah.
It's NATO. That's where aliens have been sighted.
Yeah. Well, so I watched something the other day too, where it showed that Russia and the USSR had quite a few that never really got reported outside of their own government. And that doesn't surprise me either, because the USSR was really close to the best and didn't want to say anything to anybody about any of the shit going on in their country. But I did see something where there were actually quite a bit of reported sightings and interactions that you wouldn't know about because Russia keeps everything a secret.
Right. We still don't really know how many people died in the famines in Russia,
Yeah,
in the Soviet Union right
and
after
we'll
World
never
War
know.
II. No.
They would never release those
No,
numbers,
they don't never
regardless
do.
of yeah.
I mean, it's. I definitely think that there's some credence, at least to this, at least the thought of it.
Yep.
I'm not saying it's certainly out there happening right now, but
Yeah.
we've seen governments try to manipulate their people over the last couple of years. We've seen them try to force things through fear. We've seen.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at some of the COVID arguments and shit, like whether or not you believe COVID is a big conspiracy or something that they was something, a minor illness that they turned into something to gain control, whatever. I kind of fall somewhere in that middle of I believe that it was a thing, but I also believe it was just a strain of the flu or something. And I also believe that it was a testing ground for, well, let's see how much compliance we can gain out of people and how many people stay in their homes when we tell them to, how many people will go get medical care when we tell them to, and things like that, and how many people will shame people into it.
Right.
I think I definitely think they used it to their advantage. I'm not saying COVID's fake, but I am saying that world governments definitely
It was
utilized that
certainly
sickness.
amplified by
Yeah.
world governments.
Yeah. So again, yeah, would I be shocked if world governments and world leaders came together secretly to say, let's gain control of these people? No, not at all.
No.
They believe we're their servants anyway. So
Yeah.
well, I don't think they think we're on the same ground as them
no,
at
they
all.
definitely don't. And I mean, we can look all throughout history of governments fucking over their citizens to try to do whatever. I mean, even as recently as 9/11, no matter where you fall on what happened with 9/11, the fact of the matter is Saudi Arabia is where most of those pilots were from, and we never fucking
And
did
the money
anything.
came from.
Yeah, and we never fucking did anything with them.
Yeah.
We went Afghanistan, Iraq, all of
We
that.
utilized, that as a
Saudi
way
Arabia was basically a staging ground for that invasion for us at that point. So I anyone that looks at any stuff like that and says government is always on the side of the people is just not watching. Is my thought, but I don't know. I think this sort of stuff makes me feel like I get into an area of stuff I'm not supposed to know and makes me uncomfortable.
That's the problem, though. That is the majority of people, and it's things that whether you want to believe it or not, and I'm not saying Project Bluebeam, but in a general sense, people that have dug too deep into conspiracy theories that are involved in the government who dug deep and asked questions, some of them ended up dead. And it's
all
not
of the Kennedys.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's not a coincidence that a lot of the people that were doing that ended up dead. Whether you want to believe it or not, the governments around the world have killed plenty of people for opening their mouths.
The only
here in the U.S. too.
The only difference between the U.S. government and the Russian government is publicly the U.S. Comes across nicer.
Yeah.
If you think the U.S., if they knew they wouldn't get in trouble, wouldn't invade Canada for oil in a heartbeat, you're crazy.
Oh yeah.
If they knew they could just waltz up there, no one would give them any flack, they'd absolutely do that.
Which I mean, to be fair, Canada is kind of full of a bunch of pussy, so we kind of could in terms of their military and things.
Well, I don't even mean like military pushback. I mean like global pushback.
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly. We would get plenty of sanctions.
At the end of the day, no matter which politician you're talking about, they're all just there to make a fuck ton of money.
Yep.
At the end of the day. So
they utilize government position for a way to just personal gain. It's what it is. But yeah, and back to Bluebeam though, I do think that there are, if there were 5 points as to his there, which there's 4, I believe 2 of them for sure. Like I believe that this isn't out of the realm of possibility. And then you see what the government releases to the media about UFOs and aliens and things. And then you're like, oh shit, like, are they preparing you for something like that? Or is this just truly, this is the time they're releasing it to get people's minds off of a global or a recession or whatever? Like, it's not for a good thing though. The government doesn't release information that they've been hiding for the people's gain. That's not what happens. But again, I think there is some merit to the Bluebeam, and also people were like, how far projection has come. Have you seen that Vegas sphere?
Yeah.
Have you seen inside the people that you sit in there and it looked like a fucking like whales and shit like next to you?
No, but
and they looked realistic as fuck. So if you're telling me we can do it, I'm sure that there are ways for things to be found.
Yeah.
And utilized as a projector or projections to scare people. I do.
Well, and I mean, I know most of you have probably read it because we're friends on Facebook, but A while ago, I was just down a deep dive about the SR-71 Blackbird, and I think that's a prime example. For 50 years, the government said that didn't exist and that it was unidentified stuff in the sky. But no, it was just them flying a fast as fuck plane around up
Yeah.
there. Like,
Yeah.
we know they will lie to keep their interests. So
Absolutely.
it,
Yeah.
it's certainly not with beyond the realm of
In
possibility.
50 years, are the UFOs that we're talking about now, or is that other government projects? Very well could be.
Probably.
But yeah, I mean, and back to more of the broad of aliens. Um, if the government has known they've existed in until at least the 80s is I think when
Well,
they said
The Roswell incident was
86.
1947.
Oh, okay. Shit.
So if that actually was an alien, that's 80 years.
So what my point is with that is
Yeah.
that the technology that they may have pickpocketed or picked up from that and utilized for military interest. I mean, the SR-71, for example, the engine technology could have easily been investigated from that and utilized to make that.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
we went from propelled planes to jet planes to plane,
Rockets.
yeah, to fucking rockets.
Rockets with wings.
Yeah. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that they hid that and utilized that technology, for war and for financial gain, which, I get that. But, be a little more open about everything. That'd be cool, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Project Bluebeam, I'm like almost 50-50 on it in terms of if I believe it would happen or if I believe that what he mentioned to what I'm picking out is just coincidence.
Right.
So, but I guess let us know. Is there anything we missed or is there any corrections that we need to make?
Are we
And
just crazy whack job spouting nonsense on the
yeah,
internet?
what do you think of Bluebeam? Also, I want to take this time, Patrick, you don't really know about this yet, but but I would really like a poll or to see who would like maybe some merch. Merch
Ooh.
from us and conspiracy based merch, because I think that we're going to start deep diving more into conspiracy. And I really think that some merch with our stuff, along with some conspiracy vibes to it, doesn't have to be
Okay.
totally conspiracy based. I was really thinking about launching some merch for this. So I would like some opinions, some thoughts. And if this video gets at least 20 likes, we'll launch our first t-shirt.
This
You've
is
heard it
news
here
to
first.
me.
You've heard it here first. At least 20 likes and we launch a pre-order of a t-shirt. I already have the design and everything. So
This
with
is going to be
that,
the least amount of work I've had to do with anything regarding this podcast. I
yep.
love it.
Well, with that, like I said, they're going to be really nice t-shirts. They're going to be nice, tagless, really nice shirts. They're not just like cheapos. But first design is out and it's just Happily Depressed Podcast shirt. Nothing to it other than our cool ass logo that's red and black and looks sick because it does, Patrick.
That's pretty awesome. I just used the basic tools on the.
Don't tell them that you did so much work that night.
I
A
think
whole
it took
10 minutes.
I think it was like 3.
Yeah. Well, anyways, if this video gets, what did I say?
20 likes.
20 likes. If we get 20 likes on YouTube.
So if you listen to this on Spotify and you want the shirt, go like it on YouTube.
Yep. Go like it on YouTube and we will pre-order and we'll go from there. But I really, really have thought hard about wanting to launch some merch. And I think, unfortunately, this is a bad time to announce merch because we're just getting back into it and we lost some viewers. I know we did. I understand. You're waiting around for us to maybe drop something and then we just don't for a month. Like, I know, fuck us. Exactly. Whatever he said. But yeah, I would really like to launch some merch for this and some conspiracy themed merch. And I think some people would like that. So I have some ideas in the pipeline for conspiracy t-shirts and stickers.
Stickers. That's where
I got some slaps going. Yeah, I got some slaps. Okay, how about this? The first 20 people to like this will get a Happily Depressed Podcast sticker.
Okay, hold on. We don't have a way to figure out who likes in what order. YouTube doesn't tell us that. First 20 people to comment.
There you go. There it is. First 20 people to comment on this YouTube video will get a free Happily Depressed podcast sticker sent to their door.
Deal. Once they launch. We don't have a time frame, but at some point you will get one.
Yep, you will. Absolutely. We're just going to go our logo on a sticker.
I'm about to pull Mitch McConnell, boys. I got to go.
All right, Patrick's got a shit. You've heard it here first. With that, we hope you have a good rest of your night, and thank you so much for watching us. We're back, so don't forget it.